Hey guys, it's day 174 of startups. So you may have heard from Y Combinator, at least I've seen that video where Y Combinator guys say that do not worry about the big market, just focus for solving a problem for a very small set of users to begin with. And as you'll grow, as you go ahead, go forward, new use cases will come along, and most of the big companies like Stripe or Airbnb or Coinbase, they started with a very small user base, and it looked like it will be a small market. A lot of investors had that objection, but it turned out to be slowly more and more bigger market. So that's what I'm learning myself here. So I'm starting with the cold calling market for the BDR, SDR, business development representatives, sales development representatives for the B2B SaaS space. But today I went out with a guy and learned about a totally different use case. So this guy I met through an alumni group, and I posted in that group about I wanted to explore some uh, use case around virtual receptionist using automated calls. So this guy responded to me, said that he was also exploring this use case and he's interested in the startups and he wanted to talk to me. And I had a call and then we arranged a meeting. So today we had that meeting and he asked me about my idea. So I said, yeah, I was talking about that idea in the um, WhatsApp group, but that's not my main idea. So automatic call for virtual receptionist, yes, I was interested then around use case, but right now I'm interested in the idea around cold calling. And the main concept is to make people, so actually this is how I told him. So I wanted him to relate with the idea, so I knew he's an immigrant here. So I asked him like, hey, was it a struggle for you to find job here? Did you have to reach out to a lot of people? And he said, no, it was pretty easy for me. Luckily I started with an internship after the college, and that continued to a job. So I said, okay, fine. How about your wife? Did she have it easy too? So he said, no, she had to really go through a lot of struggle. She had to reach out to so many people on LinkedIn. So I said, yeah, exactly. So when people are reaching out to people for jobs, most people do emails, most people do LinkedIn. And if you do not know someone, you send them an email. It's called a cold email. So just like that, you can also pick up a phone and call someone, and that will be called a cold call. So I'm making a software to make cold calling easier because most people are very hesitant to make cold calls. So that, but uh, for job, it sounds very strange. Um, like I have never seen someone make cold call for getting a job. Like how would I just call someone and say, oh, I'm looking for this kind of role, do you have this role? I said, yeah, fine, I understand your concern, but I have met some person, a mentor from the same group we were part of, and he advises his mentees to actually cold call for jobs. uh, so he said, but isn't it very intrusive, the cold calling itself? So I said, yeah, it's intrusive, but then any kind of marketing is by default intrusive. Like buyers say that don't reach out to me, we will reach out to you when we need, we will do the search. And this is what all buyers say, but that's not how it works. Like if you just wait for the buyers to come to you, they will never come. So do you enjoy when you are watching Netflix, the ads pop up, or when you are doing some uh, when you're playing a game, there's ads on the bottom? Nobody likes any kind of advertising. Nobody likes to see hundreds of LinkedIn messaging waiting for them. And cold calling is the same. Of course it's intrusive, but it works because it is more intrusive, because it's harder to ignore you. So the idea behind all marketing is to intrude in your perceptual space and then justify it by being interesting and by being relevant. So the other person who you're calling will actually say, okay, fine, you intruded my space, but what you said makes sense, it's valuable, so thank you for reaching out to me. So he said, okay, fine, but for the business case it makes more sense, but for the job it's too different. I said that it's, that also makes sense, it's not very standard for the job hunting, but in the end, cold calling just a way to reach people who are hard to reach, who are above you in some sense. So it doesn't matter whether they are job, like for example recruiters, or if they are music directors and we are a musician. For me personally, I reach out to people for mentorship. I'm looking for mentors, and I showed him some recordings of people I reached out to. For example, recently I reached out to a founder of a 4 billion startup which recently had an IPO. Actually, it's a $5.5 billion IPO. It was a successful IPO, and I had that recording. I made him like gave it to him, and he listened to it, the whole recording, and he was very surprised, like, because I'm not very charismatic in that recording. I'm very like I stutter a lot. I'm not very confident, but still the other person gives me time and fixes a meeting. So he's very surprised and he got really excited and he said, "Oh, really nice, interesting. Like I never thought of it this way. Like I can reach out to anyone and just using cold calling." And but how will I just what will I say? Can you also help me with the script? I said, "Yeah, we'll be building that in the product." So he got really excited. He said, "Okay, fine, great, just tell me." So I do not know, like, I'm a small guy, I'm not a business, I don't know if I can afford this, what will be the price. um, but I can imagine, like, I want to. So I said, "Okay, fine." I did not really think of a price for an individual. I have to think about it. But then he said, like, I can actually, I want to really use this product. If I can afford it, I will start building a list of people I want to reach. And if you can help me with the script and like. So it was interesting. I did not really encourage him too much because, yeah, it will be too much work for me to work with new use cases. I will focus with people who are already in business. But this was a very interesting use case, and it actually shows that if I can make this product work for now, at least for the business use cases, then I think it can have a very big market in future for any kind of people who are reaching out to big people. And so let's see, like,